Hi guys, welcome back to my 36-week update for my second pregnancy. I'm so excited to share with you guys what all has happened this week and just go over all of my symptoms and some new things that have happened in our house, as well as what happened at my 36-week checkup with my OB. So I hope you enjoy this video and let's get started. So I don't know if you can tell, but I am at a different angle today. It's because we did move a lot of the stuff in our room around because we are preparing our room to have a newborn in it. And so where I usually set my camera to film is no longer there, so I switched it and I'm now setting it on my nightstand, which I actually think might work better, so let me know what you guys think. But that's why there is a different view behind me. You can see we got his changing table set up in here, which I'm really excited about. And I will go over more of the reasons of why we did that in our how to prepare your house for a newborn / room reveal video. I'm so excited to share that with you guys, and it's coming up really soon, so don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you're notified as soon as it's posted. So the first thing that I've noticed this week is that I've definitely had an increase in nesting. I've been nesting for a while, but I feel like it's definitely picked up. And I've gotten to the point where I just want everything spotless. I want everything in its place. I want all of the baby stuff ready and clean and organized and everything. I've cleaned and organized and reorganized his stuff, so I know it's all set and ready for him to come. But I do feel like the other main driving point in me wanting to do all of this is because now that we have Madeline, we're going to have people staying at our house with her while we're in the hospital. So I really want everything to be in its place and easy to find and just clean and organized so that it's not a mess when people come and stay with her. And really from this point forward, I have to have the house that way, like around the clock, because he could come at any time. So I'm really trying to focus on that. I know it's not a huge deal if it's not, it's just our parents who are staying here, but still I wanted to feel like we were prepared and we were ready for them to stay here and everything's good so that she has as normal of a time as possible while we're in the hospital. This will be the first time that we have stayed away from her longer than 12 hours. The only other time that both Adam and I have been away from her together at the same time overnight was for one of our friends' weddings, and it was only for from the start of the wedding until the morning we went straight back because it was actually Mother's Day. So we've never really stayed away from her for very long. So the fact that this could be 2 days or more away from her is a huge deal. So I'm trying to make sure that everything is prepped for her. So very long-winded explanation of the fact that I am nesting a ton lately. Also, my energy levels fluctuate like crazy. I feel like I know I've talked about this in other videos, but it is all of a sudden I'll have all kinds of energy to get a ton of stuff done, get all this stuff checked off my to-do list, which is great, and then it'll just hit me like a brick wall that I just want to sit down and rest and lay there and take a nap. And a lot of times I don't have the luxury of doing that, which is okay. That's something that's happened this week a lot more often. I think it could be because I am doing a lot more because of the nesting and because of just trying to get everything ready and prepped and in its place. I feel like the energy level thing is just part of pregnancy. I kind of expected it. The one good thing is that I've noticed a big difference between this pregnancy and Madeline's pregnancy. With Madeline's pregnancy, for example, when I would get up and get ready in the morning, I would have to have one of those exercise bouncy balls. I would sit on one of those to do my hair and makeup, and I felt like if I didn't sit, my legs would give out, or I would, I don't know, pass out or something from standing for too long. It was weird, but I definitely had that feeling. So with this time around, I don't need that at all. I haven't even brought that ball out of the basement yet because I'm totally fine standing up for the whole time that I get ready, and I do get ready every day. I try to make that a priority, so it's not just that now I'm a stay-at-home mom and I don't need to get ready. I do try to do my hair and makeup every day because I feel like I'm more productive if I am put together and ready instead of in sweats. So there is a noticeable difference I do have more energy this time around, but it's just the levels fluctuate from hour to hour almost. So the next one is swollen feet, and I've noticed this one more so when I'm done, we try to do a family walk every night, and I notice it once we're done walking that my feet get really swollen, and I think it could just be a result of it being the end of the day and I just went on like a 1.5 mile long walk. So I don't think it's anything out of the normal. I don't think it's anything to worry about, but my feet do get a little bit swollen. It's nothing crazy, and they go right back down by the time I wake up in the morning, so I don't think it's like a huge symptom, but it definitely has been happening pretty much every time we take a walk as a family. So another symptom that has come up this week is back pain, and I know I've talked about this previously, but this time it feels a lot different. So I feel like with back pain, with Madeline's pregnancy, I got a lot of back pain in my shoulders and like under my shoulder blades. I would get back pain and like big knots, but this time I feel like a lot of my back pain is in my lower back. Just down kind of in here, and I don't know if it's the difference in a boy versus a girl pregnancy, or the difference in how I carry the pregnancy, or just the fact that I'm bending over to pick Madeline up, but my back pain has gotten a lot worse this week, and it just kind of, it wears on you after a little while, but I'm hoping I can coax Adam to give me some massages soon. Okay, so the next one is Charlie horses, and I don't know why I haven't talked about this before, but I got one this past week during week 36, and it made me realize that I haven't brought this up. This pregnancy, I have only gotten probably 5 or 6 Charlie horses the entire time, which is crazy to me because with Madeline's pregnancy, I probably got 5 or 6 Charlie horses a week, and they are like bad Charlie horses. So this time it's gone a lot better. The one thing that I do, and I don't know, I know this because I'm a dancer, I was a dancer, and I used to have Charlie horses every once in a while, and this is what I always found helped, is just to flex your foot, especially if it's in your calf, because then it kind of releases your muscles. So I do just flex my foot, but a couple of them have been so painful that I can't even like flex my foot, and it takes a minute to get to that point. Luckily this time I haven't had too many, and I don't know if that's also a difference between a boy and girl pregnancy, or if it's just a difference between my pregnancies in general, but I thought it was kind of interesting, so I thought I would share it with you guys. Hot flashes continue. I cannot stress enough how crazy these hot flashes are this time. I did not have any hot flashes with Madeline until I was postpartum, so this is just like so weird to me, and I don't ever get hot flashes if I'm not pregnant. I've had them. They are like almost constant every day. All day long I get them, and even at night I find myself sleeping without blankets on, which is so unlike me. I'm like the type of person that has to have blankets on to sleep, so the fact that I'm not using blankets is crazy. The one thing this week that was funny to me is that I was working on all of his laundry and just getting it folded and organized by size and everything, and I did that yesterday during the Broncos game. So I was doing that, and I was so hot and like complaining about how hot it was, and I felt like I was sweating and all this stuff, and Adam's over there on the couch watching watching the football game, and he has a blanket on and is like shivering cold. And the funny part is I didn't turn the thermostat down, so I don't know why he was so freezing. I don't know if he was messing with me or what, but that's the first time that that's happened, and it was kind of funny. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because I always thought that was something made up in the movies, but apparently it's real unless my husband is just messing with me. Okay, so the next one is that I had 2 really painful contractions one night this week, and they both happened on the same night. So I had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and then usually after that happens it takes me like an hour to fall back asleep. So it was somewhere within that hour that I noticed a painful contraction, and then I was kind of like, oh, that's weird, maybe I should kind of wake back up and pay attention. So I lay there for a while, and then another one came, and they weren't very long at all. They didn't last very long. They weren't close together. It didn't seem like a pattern was forming. So I lay there a little while after the second one to make sure that there wasn't another one, and there wasn't, and he started moving right away. So nothing was wrong with that. I did mention it to my doctor, and she said it's nothing to really be concerned about. Those kind of contractions pick up a little more towards the end of pregnancy, but to definitely let them know if I'm worried. So I didn't feel worried with those ones, and that was the first time I've had like painful contractions with this pregnancy. So we will see if those continue or what that means, but that did happen this week. So the next few things are new things in our house that have happened in the past week for the baby, and the first one is that we got his bedroom more set up. We have been kind of procrastinating on this just because A lot of it is like moving some stuff out of Madeline's room and just reorganizing pretty much our house to make it all work. And so we have started working on that officially this weekend. We got his crib all set up, all of his clothes and blankets put away and organized the way that we want them. We're working on so we're taking the rocking chair out of Madeline's room and putting it into his room. And we got her like a teepee thing to put in the corner so that it still is like a cool area for her to read because she loves reading. So we're excited about that. We're working on getting that set up. So we're getting a lot closer to having like his actual room put together. The one interesting part I know you can see behind me is that we have his changing table in our room actually. And we did that because I feel like it's going to make the newborn stage so much easier, especially his room is like right next to Madeline's. So I didn't want to have to carry him down there if he was crying and wake her up in the middle of the night. So this way we can just stay in our room. But that makes his room feel a little empty and like it's not fully complete, but I do think it's going to make it a lot easier. So that's kind of an exciting thing to finally see his room coming together. The next thing that I'm super excited about is that I got both mine and the baby's hospital bags packed. I can't believe we're already to that stage. I actually kind of felt like we were behind when I was packing them, like I should have already done it. But they are all packed and ready to go. There's a couple things I need to get for mine before I can film my hospital bag video, but I'm so excited to share that with you guys. I feel like the first time around I watched a lot of YouTube videos to kind of get a bunch of people's perspectives on what to take to the hospital. It's just such a like weird experience that you never really know what to pack for. It's nothing you've done before. You don't usually plan on a hospital stay, so I thought this time it would be so fun to share what's in mine and baby's hospital bag. As a second-time mom, I feel like I know a little bit better what you should and shouldn't take. Not that you shouldn't take, but that you don't really need. So I am going to have that video posted within the next week. So if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe so that you're notified when it's posted. And if you have any specific questions for me on hospital bag stuff or what to take or anything like that, please leave them in the comments below and then I'll make sure and answer them in my video for you guys. So the next one is that my rings do still fit and I'm so excited. I'm going to keep them on as long as possible. I did decide though that if they still fit by the time that I'm like in labor, I'm going to take them off before I go to the hospital to give birth, because I feel like with all of the IVs and fluids and everything, your body just swells so much, so I don't want them to get stuck on my fingers. I am going to take them with me though, so that in case they fit. Ooh, it just got dark outside. If the lighting changed, I'm sorry. But I'm going to take them with me in case they do still fit after he's born. That way I can have them on when we like take some newborn pictures in the hospital. Okay, the next one I'm kind of sad to share with you guys, but it is stretch marks, and I did get 2 teeny tiny stretch marks this week, and they're right around my belly button. I actually got stretch marks just like these ones at the end of my pregnancy with Madeline, and they went away like almost instantly, not quite instantly, but they went away really quick. So I hope that these are like those, because I feel like it's just the end of pregnancy. Your skin is just stretched to the max. So I'm sad that I got them, but in all honesty, I don't really care, because to me, anything is worth it to bring another little baby into the world. And the last thing before I go over our doctor's appointment is that we still don't have a name. We are choosing between 3 names right now. There's one that Adam really loves, there's one that I really love, and then there's one that we both like, but it's the name of one of his co-workers' children, and we just can't decide if that's like overstepping to name our kid but to like use their name. I don't think it is, but he's a little like more reserved about it, which I get because it's his coworker. So if you have an opinion about that, leave it in the comments below, because I'd like to hear it. That one's actually our favorite name, and if it's like not a taboo thing, we would totally pick that name in a heartbeat. And I think that's partly why we're so hung up on the name, is because we have one that we both love together, and we just don't know if we should use it or not, because we don't want to be rude to other people. So I know that sounds really stupid, but we're trying not to be like the copycat people, because it's kind of a unique name. But we did think of it before we even met them, so I don't know if that counts. So let me know what you guys think, because I could really use some outside opinion on that. Okay, so the next part is the doctor's appointment for my 36-week checkup. At my 36-week checkup, I was 163.6 pounds. That wasn't very much higher than the week before, so the doctors weren't worried about it. They didn't even mention anything to me about it, so that's good. The thing is that when we were there, the doctor was checking on the baby's heart rate, and she kind of got concerned. She was listening to it for a little longer than normal, and I thought that was kind of strange. And then all of a sudden she said she wanted to do a stress test on the baby to make sure that everything was okay, because his heart rate kept dropping from what she could tell. And I could actually hear it too when she had the Doppler like on my stomach. I could like hear the fluctuation in his heart rate. So I'm kind of glad that she noticed it and wanted to do it. So I got hooked up to the stress test machine, which I did get hooked up to with Madeline, but it wasn't until I was 41 weeks with her, so I kind of thought it was just like a past due, let's double check on the baby kind of thing. So it kind of took me off guard that I was doing that this week. They had me hook up to that, and we sat there for about 10 minutes, and then she came in and checked it, and she said everything looked good. And I didn't actually know this, but she said that within a 20-minute period, a baby's heart rate should like spike and then fall. And so I had noticed that actually when I was laying there, that his heart rate went up from his like resting heart rate or regular heart rate was like right around 136 or 138, and then all of a sudden it would shoot up to 150 or 155, and then it would like shoot right back down to 120, and it was like totally freaking me out. I thought something was wrong. I thought we were going to be having to go to the hospital. It happened twice. So she came in and she was actually relieved to see that, because like I said, she told me that it was supposed to happen twice in a 20-minute period, and his did it twice in a 10-minute period. So she said that that told her he was getting enough oxygen and that everything was good. So that was good. But the whole time I was sitting there getting my stress test, I was like continually thinking about how I didn't have everything ready. At that point, my hospital bags were not packed. His room wasn't set up. None of his clothes were washed. It was just like everything was coming into my mind. Like, what are we going to do if we have to go to the hospital? Nothing's ready. Obviously, it would have been fine. But, you know, as a mom, you want to make sure everything is ready for your kids. And Madeline as well. I didn't have like a plan. My parents were out of town. It was just like a crazy time. So that made me really like jump into high gear. As soon as that appointment was over, I went to Target and got all kinds of stuff for my hospital bag and for his stuff that we were like missing and didn't have yet. And so I got all of that ready. I feel so much more prepared now. Like we could have him and we'd be totally fine. So that's good. And I'm kind of glad that appointment happened, because it really kicked me into gear. The other two things from my doctor's appointment are I did not get checked at my doctor's appointment, so I don't know if I'm any more dilated than I was last week. And, oh, Madeline's already awake. And I did not get my results for my Group B strep test. I feel like once she wanted me to hook me up to the monitor, we both kind of forgot about like me asking her any questions that I had, and I actually had a few questions that I wanted answered. So that was kind of the bad part of it, since he was okay. But I didn't get any of my questions answered. So I will have that information for you in my next video. Okay, so let's do the bump shot. Here is 36 weeks from the front. And then from the side. And then from the other side. Okay, thank you so much for watching my 36-week update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I would love to have you a part of my YouTube family, and I'll see you in my next video.